Mike's up, studio is live. Good morning, Lagos. Thanks a lot for staying tuned here on Smooth 98.1. I'm Ayo Mairo Ese with Valentine Ohu here for Smooth Breakfast. It's time for Business Express 981. And at this moment, you're supposed to hear a booming voice. Hello, hello, Lagos. How you doing, boy? Rotus isn't here this morning, but just imagine you can hear his voice because I'm speaking in his stead. So assume you're listening to his voice and he's in charge this morning. But I have the lovely Janet from ARM. Good morning, Janet.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
Very well, thank you.
All right, great stuff. So we'll go straight into it. But before then, actually, let me tell you how you can get involved in the conversation. You can send your messages to WhatsApp on 0809 444 0981. That's 0809 444 0981. If you have any questions, I'm sure Jeanette will be happy to respond to your questions or comments this morning. And then on Twitter, we're at Smooth981FM. Please use the hashtag BusinessExpress981. On YouTube, we're streaming live, so see what's going on behind the scenes on YouTube at Smooth981 and subscribe to our channels whenever we post up a video or go live, you get a notification. Okay, so Janet, let's start with the stock market activity for last week. How was it?
Yes, so oil market was positive last week. We saw a gain of about 1.26% last week, and it was majorly positive. We saw most of the blue chip stocks gain significantly. Particularly for the likes of Seplat, we saw Seplat gain about 15.6% just last week. And these are stocks that have been more or less undervalued and overbeaten by investors because of overall negative sentiment. The likes of GTB gained 5.3% over last week. Zenith Bank as well gained about 5.83%.
Okay.
So we're just seeing that valuations were quite cheap. Investors went in, taunted some really good bargains.
Brilliant.
First Bank gained 24% last week as well. We saw just some really wild gains last week.
All right. And it looks like there was a lot of positivity for the banks in particular because you mentioned GT First Bank.
Yeah, so just in fact it was just overall. Even if you have to look at the likes of USC and those stocks have had, they've announced some corporate actions recently.
Okay.
So they've actually gained traction as well. But particularly the blue chips, because the likes of Seplat, which was driven at the about 27-month low at 397 the previous week. And we've seen that gain steady to above 460. We still think there's still room for more gains going forward.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. And were there any losers from last week?
Yes, so there were some losers. So definitely we have some stocks that won't perform too well.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Janet. So we saw a surge in oil prices recently, and it looks like Saudi Arabia is involved. We actually touched on this very quickly during the news headlines at 6:30. But what's going on there?
Yeah, so it happened over the weekend. So in Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia is among the top 3 producers, or in fact the top 2 after the US.
Yeah.
So usually they have production capacities of around 10 million barrels, and it was said that there was an attack on an Abacate, processing facility and some other processing facility as well, which took out about over 5 million barrels in production.
Wow.
From global oil supply.
Yeah.
That 5 million barrels takes on about 5% of global oil supply, and their major buyers would be the likes of US. So that would definitely put some pressure, in the overall market because they also constitute a major, they constitute a major demand in the market. So we actually saw that happen, and obviously we didn't see price movements over the weekend because markets were closed. But as this morning, in fact, when the markets opened, we saw prices surge about 11%. But now it has more or less tapered a bit. It's currently about $10 higher than it closed last week. It was $10 when it surged, and then it has moderated just a bit to about $6. But just to give a quick background to that story, from the whole Middle East crisis started back last year when sanctions were placed on Iranian production, and then some waivers were granted, but then that was also lifted in the month of May. After that happened, there's been fears that of some form of Iranian attacks. There was one of the Strait of Hormuz where it was said that some gas oil tankers that were transporting oil, where
Mm.
there were some attacks on some of those tankers, and so this one also just beats it. It's a big blow on the oil market.
Yes.
Really big. In fact, it has been described as one of the biggest hits on oil production in history.
No.
For oil market. But then I mean, it's almost as if their losses are
I was going to
gains.
say the impact on Nigeria, and Richard on WhatsApp. Thanks, Richard, for your comment. Richard is sending in from traffic and is asking what the impact, the global impact on Nigeria, as well as the impact on global oil price. So the attack of Saudi Arabia refinery on global oil price and Nigeria in particular. Are we happy?
Of course, yeah. So I mean, the attack is definitely positive for us.
Yes.
Like I mentioned, it's like their losses are gain.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's also been said that recently, I mean, the Saudis have also mentioned that they're working on putting, that the extent of production that was out of supply. They're trying to work on, getting back online.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall market sentiment is, even if you have production come back on track, it will be hard for them to, immediately meet up with that production capacity of 10 million that they've always had. So there's definitely going to be that lagging impact. In fact, US has also said that they would have to tap into what they call their strategic petroleum reserve.
Okay.
So it's more or less where they've had to put their emergency, just like saving for the rainy day kind of situation, because their economy is one. They have a huge reliance on gasoline oil, and usually they don't want their gasoline oil prices going higher, to that much. But Trump has said that they'll have to tap into that reserve just to more or less paint the picture of how much, how huge this
the impact. Yeah.
Exactly. So even if we see production get back on track, we may not see them return to that full capacity immediately.
All right. Richard from Traffic says the attacks on Saudi Arabia oil facility is a windfall that will not last. Let our economic team deploy this windfall wisely.
Definitely.
And then Benga Komun says, how far can Nigeria go with resolving this issue of oil subsidy since the president has said he's not removing it? So now bringing in oil subsidy. But just like Richard mentioned, it's how long do you think this will last?
I mean, it's hard to tell, to be very frank with you. I mean, they've painted a picture where, because I mentioned, it didn't just happen in just one facility. We had it happen, on two different locations, or both in Saudi Arabia. Like I mentioned, that's 5% of global oil supply. So definitely, it has a huge impact. But the Saudis have also said, I mean, the new energy minister who just came into power last week, has also said they're working on making sure that they get back on track.
Okay.
But I think what is even more devastating for them is, so the pipelines or the where they have the issues, concerns the Saudi Aramco company, and so we've been expecting them to declare an IPO. They've been trying to come with an IPO for quite some time now. So all of this is just going to impact Saudi Aramco's IPO valuations as well. Just trying to paint a broader impact of trying to paint a picture of how far this goes. But at least as far as Nigeria goes, I mean, the prices go higher. I mean, our reserves have faced some form of depletion recently, and this would definitely help.
This will help us, yes. All right. I hope it has a huge impact on us, a long-lasting impact. And like I think it was one of the comments I said, hope they'll use it wisely as well, like you mentioned, to build up reserves. Now I see FMDQ wants to do something about mortgages. What exactly is their plan?
Well, so they've come out to say that they're working on, because I mean, we just probably on the side, just to give some kudos to FMDQ, they've been coming up with some good, initiatives right now to more or less improve the financial market and the capital market. So they've come up now to say that they're trying to improve Nigeria's mortgage industry. So I mean, currently, or even as at last year, loan was more or less almost like a taboo when you mention it in Nigeria or for the Nigerian banks, considering they've had their fingers beaten because they've had to incur some impairment charges. But I mean, right now many people, I mean, loan is like the order of the day now. Talking about lower interest rates. We have banks scrambling to issue loans around.
Yeah, we get text almost every other
I mean,
day.
if you're on LinkedIn, you get some really enchanting text from banks as well. So all of that. I mean, so this comes at a very interesting time as well when we're trying to push interest rates lower. So basically trying to so they've mentioned now that they're trying to come up with a blueprint. They're working together with CBN with SEC, with IFC, that's International Finance Corporation.
Okay.
So they have a good, a good armed body, and then the plan is to create a blueprint where they're able to, make some presentation to the president in another year's time. And so the aim of this really is just to expand the mortgage industry, which in turn also just, increases or also improves the capital market, an aspect of the financial market. So all of that just boosts some form of activity, because at this moment you would almost want to describe the financial market or our financial market as kind of shallow. So it just creates more depth for the whole financial market. So like I mentioned, they're trying to work in hand with the federal government, trying to push rates lower, increase loans, and we'll see how that goes. But I mean, the big prayer now is to ensure that all of these policies are implemented, because we always come up with these policies, but I'm more or less confident in their FMDQ, to actually push this going forward as well.
So we should watch policy and see just how far they would implement.
Of course, yes. So I mean, it's already said everywhere about how we have this 70 million housing deficit that we have to fill. So all of this would definitely, and getting the government involved kind of reminds me of the way the Freddie Mac and the where they have these institutions in the US. So hopefully we're able to replicate something similar, build our mortgage industry, which also has reverberating impact on the capital market as well.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Janet. So Rainmaker on WhatsApp says, for the stock market, are we back in business? Actually, it's a question he's asking. This double-digit returns for major liquid stocks is welcoming. So are we back in business?
So I mean, it's you can't predict the market, but we are definitely. I mean, like I've mentioned, even the likes of Seplat trading at 460, we still think there's quite a lot of room for them to grow. Most of the stocks, even though they've gained so far, they're actually trading below our fair value estimates to some extent. The GTBs, the Zenith Bank. We still believe Zenith Bank at 19 or GTB at 26 is actually quite cheap. So definitely we still see some headrooms, but you can't easily predict what the markets will do, to be very honest with you. But definitely we think at this point they're still quite cheap valuations when compared to their peers outside Nigeria. So we definitely think that there's some room for them to take up, and not to even mention the fact that they have very attractive dividend level dividend yield potential. So we definitely advise that you get in touch with us. And
or like Rotus will always say, speak to your broker. Make sure an ARM is obviously recommended. Now, he also continues to say the Saudi oil issue will be resolved. They have systems that fix these issues, and they are major ally with the US, who is not interested in price surge for crude. They will pressure the price downwards. We resume trading this week. Anyways, it's a positive for us in the interim, but not yet Uhuru. Dakwa says, as sad as the attack on Saudi is, it has a positive effect on our revenue, since the price of crude oil will increase in the short term, although it is strictly short term. We need to diversify urgently and follow through, as the future of revenue from crude oil is bleak. So let's not get too happy. All right, final comment here before we have to go from Yinka. Let's see how the government will make use of this potential crude windfall. Then we compare with the past governments. On the mortgage, what exactly is the FMDQ about to do? We shouldn't make things that are not complicated unnecessarily complicated. How hard is making mortgage affordable for all, or even mandating the banks to practice proper banking? Yinka, I would have loved for Janet to react to your response, but unfortunately we are out of time. But I can bet you that Rotus will start with your question, or at least address your question tomorrow during Business Express 91.
It's definitely positive. I mean, the basic thing mentioned there is trying to ensure government is able to give out mortgage at lower interest rates, and give it to the banks, and perhaps the bank give it to us. But nothing has been stated about how this is going to be carried out. We should expect this going forward.
All right, brilliant. Thank you so much, Janet from ARM. You're a star. I'm giving it back to you. All right, so Rotus will be here tomorrow morning. I hope I'm sure it's been a pleasant morning for you. Stay tuned with us here on Smooth 98.1. We have some music lined up for you. Don't forget, 7:30, we come with freshly pressed 981. We go through the national news headlines with analysts joining us at that time. Good morning. Thank you so much, Janet. Thank you.